If you go back to 200 million years ago, you will witness the birth of the most notorious dynasty in history. They were formed by the earliest small reptiles, and eventually evolved into the pinnacle of land on Earth. Just relying on their bodies, they can sweep the whole continent. The predators who once stepped on them eventually became their food. Compared to reptiles, people prefer to call them dinosaurs. The family of dinosaurs is extremely large and incomplete. There are 1047 species of dinosaurs, some of which are as big as a small mountain. They can easily push a small forest flat. These dinosaurs can only be invincible when they are adults. There are also carnivorous dinosaurs that have explosive bite power. They have a bite power that is even stronger than crocodiles. Their large size and high hunting skills make them stand at the top of the food chain. These dinosaurs ruled the Earth for 1.6 million years. Of course, the dinosaur era does not mean only dinosaurs. In the vast blue sky, the dragon-type creatures are flourishing. The largest dragon is about the size of a small plane. Huge double-winged air currents can fly over half of the Earth. And these dragons are not only the overlords of the sky. Even if they come to the ground, they can also be used as food for many small dinosaurs. Although they look huge, their hollow bones and light body can fly with strong bones. Of course, the dragon is not a dinosaur. It is also a rare species of reptile. You can think of them as wings that can fly. In addition to the sky, as the ocean of life, it is also extremely powerful. In the early days of the dinosaur age, the ocean was ruled by the serpents and the mammals. These huge seas were also very strong. And when it came to the later stage of the dinosaur age, the son of the chosen one of an era was also born, that is, Changlong. Changlong's ancestors used to live on land, but they were oppressed by dinosaurs for a long time. In the end, they had no choice but to make a decision against their ancestors, that is, they came to the sea for a month. In the end, he successfully became the famous Changlong. He is also the pinnacle of the sea in this era. Just like Yilong, these sea monsters are not dinosaurs, they are sea reptiles. However, it is because of the blessing of so many strange creatures that this legendary era has bloomed the most amazing flowers in the world. So today we will step into the early days of the dinosaur era together to witness the birth of this great dynasty. Welcome to Jurassic World, a place where dinosaurs rise. In the last episode, we just experienced the fourth biological disaster in history. And the dinosaurs didn't start to appear until Jurassic World. Some dinosaurs have already started to hatch during the trilogy, such as this dinosaur in front of you. But their living environment is not very good. As we said before, the water dragon beasts in the trilogy that rely on the number to rule have fallen to the west. A large number of evil creatures have appeared, so that the water dragon beast family has been broken. And Shadaolong, a small Kala, was also living under the shadow of these giant beasts. The biggest difference between dinosaurs and other reptiles is their body structure. The traditional reptile limbs are all on the side. This makes them very inefficient, and the subdued posture will also suppress the lungs, so their breathing system is also extremely weak. However, the dinosaur limbs are at the bottom of the body. This can also make them able to walk and run quickly. However, Shidaolong's current state of survival will not last forever. These small reptiles rely on their own advantages to rise in the middle of the river. In addition to the stone dragon, the dinosaur that looks like a dog in front of you is called the virtual dragon. It is also one of the earliest dinosaurs. The virtual dragon only needs a small amount of water to be able to survive. The 5 light movements are its characteristics. The strong ability to adapt to the environment is the key to the rise of the dinosaur. And when the 3 butterflies are full, the mammals will begin to appear. The dog teeth beast in front of you is thought to be closely related to the mammals. They live in a very close relationship with their partners in the underground. A small amount of body hair allows them to evolve in the direction of tropical animals, and their cubs need to rely entirely on their parents after hatching. They need to rely on their mother to survive in the first few months. This way of breeding can greatly improve the survival rate of the cubs. The evolution period of mammals is up to 160 million years. In the end, only a few small mammals can survive. After all, in this era when dinosaurs are about to be ruled, the survival environment of other animals is not good. After seeing these dinosaurs' precarious environmental conditions, let's officially step into the origin of this dinosaur's rise. Speaking of Jurassic, we have to talk about the huge Lianglong. Lianglong, with a body length of 25 meters, is the pinnacle. If you don't have a concept of 25 meters, you can find a standard basketball court. Its length is 28 meters. In general, Lianglong is a group. This huge and long neck can eat tall plants, and the huge size of Lianglong also represents huge consumption. So they are not eating every day but on the way to eat. And Lianglong also has a special characteristic, which is that they often erect huge bodies. to push those tall trees into the clouds. Maybe this is also to eat the leaves at the top of those big trees. And such a large group of liang long can push a small forest flat every day. The more liang long eats, the more he pulls. The excrements produced by a liang long every day are piled up into a small mountain. Fortunately, the magic of nature lies in the interlocking of the rings. These ancient fake insects are already working for liang long at this time. That is, their emotional sacrifice has caused the entire ecological chain to become stable. And in Africa, countless years later, their offspring will clean up for the elephants. Adults are huge, so when they lay eggs, they can only choose the edges of those forests. They don't have the ability to take care of the eggs. So every time they lay a large number of eggs, they will bury them and then directly take them away. The main thing is a self-life and self-destruction. And after the incubation period is over, the little dragons are also starting to show up one after another. They have to escape into the forest as soon as possible. Otherwise, they will become the mouth of those predators. Therefore, the survival strategy of this race is to collect as many as possible, and they will stay in the forest until they can't stand it anymore. And then they will step out of the forest to find their own race. But we have experienced so many disasters. Large predators will always lack any kind of life, such as those Eidolons. Eidolons may not be the largest carnivore in the Jurassic period, but he is definitely one of the most successful hunters. The adult Yggdrasil is nearly 9 meters long, and the round body makes them extremely good at hunting. Sometimes Yggdrasil often dares to challenge the huge Liang Long, but in most cases, this is not a wise move. After all, the tail of Liang Long can carry the power of 1,000 catties. If he is accidentally dragged down the mountain by a big mouth, then he will become a crooked dragon king. So the more suitable target is the children of Liang Long. These little guys didn't have the ability to resist when they met Yitrong before they grew up. And without the protection of their parents, they can only survive on their own. Yitrong has a very sensitive sense of perception and can sense the weak atmosphere of those prey. And the best response measure for this situation is to lie down and not move at all. Many times they will fall into Yitrong's dish. However, today's weather is obviously not good. The storm has covered the trap of Yitrong. After seeing Liang Long and Yitrong, let's take a look at the dinosaurs found in our country. The dinosaur with feathers in front of its eyes is called Dinosaur King. Nowadays, birds are likely to be evolved by this kind of dinosaur. Sharp teeth are more suitable for feeding insects. Obviously, Dinosaur King's appearance is also considered to be a little fresh meat in the dinosaur world. But it's easy to be jealous of him because he's so handsome. After all, the most indispensable thing in this era is the predator. This is a young Chinese dinosaur. He looks like a man with a face full of sweat. So his habits are not very fierce. And what he doesn't like most is these mischievous little dinosaurs. So he has to take care of each other today. Obviously, this Chinese dinosaur hasn't learned the essence of hunting yet and started running from a great distance. This also caused the dino to start running desperately. This scene will be played almost every day. The dino's running speed is not too fast, and most of the predators are good at running. So after chasing for 2 minutes and 30 seconds, the dino was blocked on the edge of the cliff. Obviously, there was no way to escape. The predators began to get closer and closer. However, a dino like this can survive in such a vicious dinosaur circle. Naturally, there is also a way to do it. For example, jumping off a cliff that's impossible. This little thing can fly. Although this kind of flying skill is relatively weak, it is just a small step for this dinosaur to achieve a lot of Earth life. The brave exploration of these pioneers led to the birth of a new dynasty. For many years before, dinosaur fossils were mostly found in Western countries. However, in recent years, the center of this discovery has begun to change. Our country has become the place with the most dinosaur fossils in the world. For example, the Shulong, which lives in the southwestern region, has recently reached the season for Yunnan people to eat wild animals, and the Shulong also has this trait. Those colorful mussels often attract them. However, once a young man can't help but be tempted to eat a mussel, the consequences are simple. First of all, the world in his eyes will become more colorful. The feeling of spinning in the sky is not like a carousel, but a wonderful resonance in the furnace. Strange creatures began to appear in front of him. Don't ask me why I know so well, because this is my personal feeling. After seeing so many dinosaurs, let's take a look at the situation in the sea. The fish dragon type creatures rule the sea of the threefold season. 17. Their species is very rich. Until the time of Zhu Luoji, the fish dragon family is still active. For example, this big-eyed fish dragon in front of his eyes, just like the way his name is shown, a pair of big eyes of Katsuran are also charming. The fish dragons of the past were unparalleled, and for a moment, it seemed that they were going to recreate the style of a pot of jideng fish. However, that is impossible, because of the generation of the generation of the generation of the upper dragon-type creatures began to rise at a rapid pace, such as the one in front of you. In some of the older documentaries, the dragon was restored to a 25-meter-long, 150-ton giant, but the data is a little bit exaggerated. The real size of the dragon is about 7 meters, but this is also enough, after all. Compared to the dragon-type creatures, the body structure of the slide-finger dragon is obviously more aggressive. In addition to the slide-finger dragon, the snake-like dragon-type creatures begin to exert force. These guys have long necks, and their flexible forms are also very powerful. The overall shape is like the Nishu water monster. These guys also rise up completely when they are in their final stages, freely balancing the entire ocean. At this time, the sky of Zuluoji has also been ruled by the creatures in the winged dragon. They have some early small wings, which eventually evolved into a huge group. And when the next season comes, they will also be in full swing. It is obvious that it is difficult to introduce Zuluoji in comparison with the previous seasons, because the era of the rise of this dinosaur is really too annoying, so that there are too many representative creatures. However, if the period of Zuluoji is the era of the rise of the dinosaur, then the next era is the peak of the dinosaur. There you can see the wings of the plane, and you can also see the absolute repression power of the Baolonke creature. We all know that the Tyrannosaurus will also appear. Those 10 dinosaurs won't give up. They will also have a powerful and unrivaled strategy. Dinosaurs' footprints will cover all continents. Even in those environmentally harmful bases, there are also traces of dinosaur survival. This is the real peak of the dinosaur era. Let's keep going. Welcome to the White Dinosaur season.